Hey, tell Steve Harvey I don't want her.
Keeping stuff to yourself and keeping it private and learning, when to talk and when not to talk.
Right. Pause for a second. Future is still heated about Lorie cutting him off like it was nothing on New Year's, and it's getting messy again. This comes right after he was joking on her for losing MichaelBJordan, just before Michael leveled up and became an Oscar-winning actor, which makes the whole situation look even wilder now. Word is, Lorie has some regrets about walking away from Michael, and people are saying she was already trying to spin the block before that Oscar moment even happened. But Michael, he's not entertaining it at all. No calls, no second chances, nothing. She had her shot, and now it's gone. And folks are saying that reality is hitting hard. What really has people talking is Future stepping into all of this drama again like he's part of the story. It's strange because not too long ago, he was calling Michael a lame, and now the energy feels completely flipped. Still, some people aren't even surprised by Future's behavior. If you remember, he made his breakup with Lorie super public and chaotic, even though she was clearly trying to keep things low-key and off social media. From how it's looking, he still hasn't let it go at all. It's like that situation is stuck on replay in his head. And it only made things worse because right after she ended things with him, she moved on with Michael, which clearly didn't sit right with him at all. So what did he do? He jumped straight into his music and started taking shots at both of them. In his song, he rapped, "Magic City, I'm the owner. Tell Steve Harvey I don't want her," making it real clear how he felt, and people caught on to that energy fast. But it didn't stop there. There was even a leaked extended version of that verse that dropped right when news broke about Lorie and Michael, and this version hit even harder. In that one, he said, "Must have forgot to tell her daddy. She begged me not to leave. Put baguettes on your ankles, nearly up to your knees. She didn't have a choice but to go for a lame after me, baby." And the tone of it had people side-eyeing heavy because it felt extra personal. He was going in with those lines, no filter at all, and then took it even further by posting a clip of him and Lorie sitting in a car. The caption said, "Never giving a messy girl a chance. My apologies to my fans," which instantly had people talking and picking sides online. At that point, most thought that was the peak of the drama and that things would finally cool off after that. Looks like he still hasn't moved on. It's sticking with him heavy, and it shows every time his name comes up in this situation.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yeah,
I'm the prize. What does that mean?
It just means not compromising my values, my happiness, my peace, not settling for less than what I know I deserve, and not being afraid to walk away from a situation that is no longer serving me.
Yo, shut up. Imagine calling yourself the prize of you dating Future, baby. That's why I always tell my young G's, their past matters. The type of men that they used to date and they past matters. Imagine saying that I just will never compromise my expectation. Meanwhile, you getting your back twisted and rearranged by a dude like Future.
What made it even more intense is that right after she ended things with him, she got with Michael, and that clearly hit a nerve he couldn't ignore. So instead of staying quiet, he went straight to the studio and let it all out in his music. In one of his tracks, he said, "Magic City, I'm the owner. Tell Steve Harvey, I don't want her." And people instantly picked up on who he was talking about. It wasn't subtle at all. Then things got even more wild when a longer version of that verse leaked right as news about her and Michael started spreading. In that version, he said, "Must have forgot to tell her daddy. She begged me not to leave. Put baguettes on your ankles, nearly up to your knees. She didn't have a choice but to go for a lame after me, baby." And that had people reacting fast because it felt way more personal and direct. He didn't stop there either. He went ahead and posted a video of him and her sitting in a car, and the caption read, "Never giving a messy girl a chance. My apologies to my fans," which had social media going off with opinions from every side. At that moment, a lot of people really thought that was the end of the situation and that things would finally settle down, but clearly that wasn't the case. Honestly, Lorie probably thought all that drama was finished too, but everything flipped the moment Michael won that Oscar for Best Actor. That win changed the whole conversation overnight, and people wasted no time flooding him with praise, while also dragging her right back into the spotlight. Along with the congratulations, social media started buzzing with comments saying she was probably at home rethinking everything. And to be fair, people were connecting the dots because ever since they split, his career has been going up fast, on a whole different level than before. It's not like he wasn't successful back then, but now it's a completely different league, and people are noticing that shift loud and clear. Comments started popping up like, Lori Harvey now knows she fumbled MichaelBJordan after he won the Oscars. He was the prize. And others were throwing in lines like, I guess Lori Harvey no longer serves MichaelBJordan, ain't it? And those takes had people debating nonstop. Some even pointed out how wild it is that in just a few years, everything flipped. Now he's holding one of the biggest awards in the industry, while she's being talked about in a completely different way, with people saying he was always the real prize and she just didn't see it at the time. Then right when all that chatter was peaking, things got even messier. A source close to her reportedly started sharing that she had been seriously trying to reach out to Michael ever since that Oscar win, which only added more fuel to the conversation online. People are even saying she had been trying to reach out way before that Oscar win, but he was already shutting it down. He's not interested at all, not replying, not picking up calls, nothing. It's like he completely closed that chapter and locked the door for good. What makes this whole situation even more wild is that when they first broke up, she looked like the one in control of the narrative. She and her mom, Marjorie, were putting things out there that had people side-eyeing Michael, including claims that he only dated white women. And since he stayed quiet, those rumors kept spreading without much pushback. And Marjorie didn't stop there either. She added her own layer of shade by posting a clip of Jennifer Lewis saying, if you sit in it for too long, it stops smelling. So come out of there. And people quickly connected who that message was aimed at. Then Lorie stepped in right after and kept that same energy going.
Just listens to me when I talk. Like even, the other day I just been saying I really wanted to go to a farmer's market. And so he called me one morning, Sunday morning. He was like, what are you doing? Get dressed, I'm about to come pick you up. And he took me an hour away. It's this.
She posted a picture of a license plate on her IG story that read, dump him, which had everyone talking and trying to read between the lines. She even followed that up with an interview where she spoke openly about her standards, making it seem like Michael didn't measure up to what she wanted in a long-term partner. And that only added more tension to the whole situation. Mind you, when they were actually together, she was moving completely different and saying the opposite, which makes all of this feel even more confusing now. And that's the part people can't stop talking about. How she had so much to say about Michael not meeting her standards, but had no issue being with Future. The same Future who's known for having multiple kids and has openly said marriage isn't even on his radar. That contrast has people raising eyebrows because it just doesn't add up. So now, seeing him throw shade at her over Michael has people like, of course he is. The situation almost set itself up for that kind of reaction, and social media is definitely feeding into it. A lot of people are also saying Michael was probably the most solid relationship she had, and losing that changed the whole narrative around her. Then she moved on to Damson Idris. No disrespect at all, but people keep comparing and saying the level feels different, and those comparisons haven't stopped since. What's really interesting, though, is that while all this shade was going around, Steve never once disrespected Michael or distanced himself from him. In fact, they ran into each other at a basketball game recently, and it was nothing but good energy between them. But then it got even more awkward, because Steve later shared that Lorie wasn't too happy about that interaction and even told him not to speak to Michael again, which had people reacting like, wait, what?
Girl.
See, I gotta be real careful because Lorie, boy, she be in my... I can't make no mistakes. I can't make stuff. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere and I shook his hand, boy, I can't even touch his no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your is my ex too. That's the rule. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too.
At the end of the day, Future jumping in to clown her might seem wild, but honestly, he's not the only one. The internet has been saying the same thing, and the narrative has completely flipped compared to a few years ago when people thought Michael was the one who lost out, especially after she stepped out with Damson Idris. Mind you, back when they were together, she was saying a completely different story, which makes everything now feel extra off. And that's what really has people confused. How she had all this to say about Michael not meeting her standards, but had no issue being with Future. The same Future who's known for his complicated personal life and has openly said marriage isn't something he's focused on. That contrast has people seriously questioning her logic because it just doesn't line up. So now when Future is out here making jokes about her over Michael, a lot of people aren't even shocked. It almost feels like the situation set her up for that kind of reaction. And social media is definitely running with it. Many are also saying Michael was the most stable relationship she had, and losing that shifted everything. Then she moved on to Damson Idris. No disrespect, but people keep comparing, and those comparisons have been loud ever since. What really stands out is that through all the shade being thrown, Steve never disrespected Michael or cut him off. They even saw each other at a basketball game recently, and it was all respect and good vibes between them. But then it got awkward fast, because Steve later shared that Lorie wasn't happy about that moment and even told him not to talk to Michael again, which had people reacting like,
these two dudes right here matter to me in a way where, like, you know, like he say, like if we going through something, we'll call each other because we feel for each other, because we know the real person.
Right, yeah.
I know they lying about you online.
seriously? At this point, Future clowning her might seem messy, but he's not alone in that energy. The whole narrative has flipped, and now people are looking at the situation very differently than they did just a few years ago. Now fast forward to 2026, and everything looks completely different. Michael is now an Oscar-winning actor, and his career is on another level right now. Meanwhile, people are side-eyeing the situation even more, especially with rumors about Damson trying to land a role in the next Black Panther movie. And the comparisons just keep getting louder. A lot of folks are saying you really can't ignore how this all played out. Whether she wants to admit it or not, people believe she downgraded, and now that opinion is everywhere online. Of course, social media had a lot to say, and the comments have been wild. One person said, MichaelBJordan ignoring Lori's congrats like he ignored the red flags in 2022. Level up so hard the past can't even get a text back. And that had people reacting fast. Another added, men get the biggest ego the second they start winning. Imagine straight up ignoring calls from the one person who held you down when you had literally nothing. And that sparked a whole different debate. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Future throwing shade and clowning Lorie like this? And do you really see any chance of Lorie and Michael ever reconnecting after everything that's happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to check out the next video right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.